Hello, podcast listeners and viewers. Welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphries on the road. Thank you very much for paying for the Patreon. If you are paying for the Patreon, welcome to the early episode. If you're not, if you're one of those type pieces of shit, thank you so much for, just enjoying the free content. Guess can't complain. Offered you free content and you took it for the grand total of fuck all. Guess that's on us then. Guess that's on us that you're just going for the free shit. Fair enough. That's what you want this relationship to be. Cool. Good to know. Just the free shit. Just walking around Sainsbury's, not buying anything. Free sample. Walking into ice cream stores. Oh, can I try that? Oh, do you want a cone? No, just a free sample. That's you. Fine. Good for you. It's a good episode today. We spoke about how ugly my fiance is. We spoke about how dumb my baby is and how his birthday doesn't matter. Then we had an argument about sound quality. Did we talk politics in this one, or was that last one? No, we did a little bit. Aye, so talk about beheading the politics. You know what they're all fucking like. Anyway, it's a good episode. I lolled, and you will too. Enjoy. Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and Cream, Cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
So is there people living in them houses out the back of yours now?
Aye,
because that just turned my piss into a crime.
Aye.
I've always just ran out and pissed in the bush.
Yeah,
and then I saw all the open curtains.
Yeah.
I was looking in the windows for somebody.
You got pissed down there now, and that doesn't feel as convenient.
Nah, it feels like it's pissing on your property.
Aye.
Like when I'm pissing on the bush, it's like I'm pissing out of the...
Helping nature.
I'm just like, it's out in the wilderness where the animals piss.
Yeah.
That's where all your badgers and squirrels will do their pissing.
And the deer, we get deer in this area. Or I don't know if they do now that you've started pissing out there.
Do you ever get shit on by a squirrel or pissed on by a squirrel the way you would off a bird? Because they're always in the tree canopies and that.
Aye. I mean, probably, but I imagine their poos are a bit more solid, so they probably just...
I imagine they're a bit more like a dog, where they like get a bit of ground and they rummage around a little bit and try and... Because fucking that's what the dogs do.
You reckon they're shitting on the ground?
I reckon so, aye.
You reckon squirrels are shitting on the ground?
I didn't think that they in airdrops. I think you
Why?
get...
But that seems so dangerous. Why? Like, that's... First of all, if we could all shit from a tree, we'd shit from a tree. I think that goes without...
I mean, we can.
You know, sloths spend all their time in trees for safety reasons, but will crawl down to the ground to take a shit, even though they don't know why, because it's so dangerous, but they just do.
Sloths and pandas, man, we just need to... There's some animals that just have to go.
Yeah.
And I think we should bring back the guillotine for them. They've got no... It's properly sentenced them all to death, right? And they've got no... How could they have a concept of what's happening? But, real official, bring it back, march them down. Because you can't hang the sloths. That'd be stupid.
That's what they're good at. The one thing they're good at.
If it doesn't snap their neck, they're just... Ooh,
Clean.
thank you. Now for the slowest escape there has ever been. Ha ha! Goodbye, sucker.
So they come down. So why would squirrels?
That's mad. That would be like a bear going up a tree to shit for me. Like that's not...
It would be like a bear coming down a tree to shit.
It'd be like elk go and be like, I need a shit. We just go there, I got shit in the lake. Why? I hate fish.
Where I drink it off.
I think the sloths as well, they have a specific one spot they'll go for a shite every time.
Oh, God.
They'll go out their way to go.
That makes sense as well, because if you're going to be living in that patch of woods, you might as well, we shit in the same spot all the time when we've got a bit of property.
Aye, but it doesn't stay there.
Aye, but if it was going to stay there, you wouldn't just dot it run, would you?
Why? How are you, it's like not shitting on a plane where you can hold it in until you land, being like, oh, fucking, this is a long flight to Bangkok, but I refuse to do it.
I really treasure my shit on the plane.
Do you?
That's a real time killer for me.
Oh,
at some point, I'm going to go and have a sit down. I'm going to spend 15 minutes having a shite. I'm not even going to wait for ages after it leaves my arse. Let it dry up a bit and then deal with it.
You ever had a wank on a plane?
I can't say I have, but I can't say I haven't. It's not beyond us.
Me neither.
Tell me about the time. Do you always do it?
Not always, but man, if I want to wank, I'm in business class. You're allowed to.
I don't often wank backstage either.
It depends where I am.
Wait, so you didn't even do it in the bathroom?
Yeah, of course I did it in the book.
Right.
Yeah, of course I did it. Yeah, that's not.
Well, I don't know. I've not been in business.
Yeah, but that's not what I think business class is. I
but
paid
if it
for
has-
this, right?
Yeah, but if business was
Where's
like
my
rolled off-
Baileys?
There's just a male high club and it's just a bunch of couples and you.
No. Business is just more. They're nicer to you. I remember the first time I got business class, and this was like years before I could afford it. Like it was paid for by a company that was flying me out somewhere, and it was the last available flight, so they had to get me on business class. I was like, couldn't fucking believe it, and I was going through a period of my life where I was like, oh, maybe I used to sketch when I was younger. I was like, maybe I'll try and get back into sketching, and then I was shit at it, and you know what I'm like when I'm not good at anything. But I had my sketch thing with me on the plane, and the
Scat through turbulence. This dog has 4 legs now. 4 legs now. What's wrong with me?
you've got a dog.
This dog has 4 legs and 3 wheels.
Yeah, 4 legs and a very 5 legs, just one really happy leg on its back. Seems useless, but just
Mate,
it's a little windscreen wiper, but for nothing.
On one of your 2 shows, I'm trying to remember which one it was because they'll remember it. Belfast. It was in Belfast. I'd done a line on stage. That was the first time I ever done it. I done it in the moment. And it just felt so dark. Right. I just done. When I do Peggy, I sometimes do the impression of Peggy sniffing her own piss 2 years later, like a Facebook time hop.
Yeah.
And I just do I used to talk about myself in the third person, cringe, and then 5 years later she just goes, I used to say cringe, and then I just went 10 years later, look how young I looked before I had wheels. and everyone who was just laughing along and everything I'd said previously just went,
Oh, good.
oh no.
Love those laughs. Give them a laugh and then take it away instantly. Like just Indiana Jones, switch that positive feeling for instantly a sad one. Oh, that's why comedy is an art form.
I might keep it in, but I just got carried away. I was just like, what else do people say? And they always talk about how young they used to look when they used to complain about their looks and all that. And that now, when I look back, it's like I wish I was kinder to myself. So it's just like I had that like thing in my head about when people look at time hobs, and I took away my dog's legs.
Hey, for comedy's sake, it worked.
Let's backtrack through.
But
Let's excavate that conversation.
let's not excavate the conversation.
No, we were actually on something there.
Where we what?
Right, I was pissing in front of neighbours.
Oh, just there.
That's
yeah.
exactly what happened. I went for a piss, realised that like it was like the fucking I felt revealed. Like I felt like a place where I normally felt safe. I was like revealed. Like
It actually felt like pissing outside this
like
time.
pissing on a train, and they've got the doors open and it's like open and it's like just like reveals you. But then there's just like this hidden, don't forget to lock it button down there. And if you didn't press that, the next person that comes to open it just you'll start having a poo and they're just like, here he is. Yeah. It was like one of their moments.
You had a wank on a train.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Wanking on the flight.
Aye.
Nah. I don't know if my horniness ever wins over the fucking comfort and convenience of.
You don't have to wank because you're horny.
That's true.
For me, it's a time killer.
Suppose so, but also like I can't get any signal up there and I haven't got a memory. I'm just wanking up on the decor of a fucking public toilet. I close my eyes and just wank over the pitch darkness of the void. I cannot bring up any visual imagination.
Me and my high school mates, we all went for a spa day yesterday because we're all dads now. And our present to one of the newest dads was just, hey, we'll take you all for a spa day. And also we can just all go in the spa together and be idiots together. Got a massage. Said the same thing I always say when I'm about to get a massage, which is just essentially I give the woman a DNR, being like, you could not physically hurt me enough.
Yeah.
There's no amount of pressure you can apply to my back that I will say, no, don't do that. Like, just as hard as you physically. And she's like, yeah, no, got it. I'm like, fuck, if your full body weight's not on me, I'm not going to feel anything. And the second she touched me, I was like, I guess I'll just relax for the next 45 minutes then.
It wasn't a physically hard one.
And this is, because before we went in, the 2 guys that had gone in before us, they were like, I got my one, she was great, but she spoke the entire way through. And Graham went, "Oh, my one," didn't say a word, and she gave a really like fucking deep one, and I'm like, "Well, I'm going to go for the one that doesn't talk, and the one that's got the most pressure." And I think Graham's just got a softer back than me. I've realised now, and I don't know if this is sexist, but it probably is, considering, well, consistently I'm accidentally sexist. The second there was two women there, I'm like, do you not have a big 6'4" black guy who's just finished his workout? And not in a sexual way, but deep down maybe kind of, but it's mainly just...
We had it, me and Supper had back massages in Antigua, and the lasses were like fucking shot putters, mate. It was like Mrs. Trunchbull. It was like Mrs. Trunchbull. And we were both like, class.
Oh, that's what you want. That's what you want. Like, don't get me wrong.
She had hands like the rock biter from Neverending Story. Yes.
Matt, don't get me wrong, like the massage was still good because it was nice and relaxed, and it's still nice. You'd love it. It's nice to be touched by a lady hand sometimes, but the big fucking fucking triceratops hoofs just fucking knuckling in.
You know what bothers me in back massage when you get full body massage is when you have to leave your boxers on, because you're like, oh, but like one of the main muscles that needs doing's underneath that. Because like they'll avoid your arse like it's your cock.
Oh, maybe yours.
They'll avoid your arse like it's your cock. It's such a sad sentence.
Yeah, but such a telling one for what you want from a massage.
Like
I understand they won't touch my cock, but they are.
I'm like giving myself a wedgie before it just starts, just hoping that the one muscle I'm using all of the time and that needs a rest. The muscle I talk out of.
The one that's keeping the blood and poo in at all times.
Damn. Like my cock. When they just like avoid your arse, like it's an erogenous zone, and then like I just like I'd pay for happy ending if it just meant you massage me arse. It shouldn't be left, dude. I don't think.
I also think that like every time I'm wanked out of a massage, every time as if I get massaged twice a year, and every time I go for a massage, I'm like, I should treat myself to those more often.
Yeah, they're always in hotels where we stay.
Yeah, I'm just it's I don't know. It just feels like one of those, and you're like, I don't want to be that guy that, you know. It's for me, it's a very LA thing to get like 3 massages a week, and I'm like, I'm not going to pretend that my life is that stressful.
Like when you start saying my masseuse, like you're saying my therapist.
Man, when you're facing that hole, why is there not a little hole for your cock?
Little one.
But why is there not, just so that it can hang loose? And also, if you're a lady, 2 holes just for your boobs to go down, and then somebody can come in and milk you.
Just an iron bucket underneath it.
Milk pinning off tin. And do you want harder or softer love?
Just fucking. That would be a bit of happy ending massage, even if they had a hole in the table.
Aye.
That you'd cook it going through.
Yeah.
Then instead of going to it now, you just see them disappear under the table.
Well, if they ask you to turn over, you're like, I don't want to shit on you. That would be a sad ending.
Actually, how much is that? Just speculatively.
In theory, getting your wallet. Oh, I'm not wearing trousers.
Pulling it wallet from behind it, yeah. Just full of 50 pences.
And then I'm short, and then pulling a 20 from behind hers.
So
Because you could do that if there was like a fucking if there's a hole for your cock as well, but no hole for your face, right? Then it's just like a horizontal.
in that case, just line it the other way.
Huh?
Just put your cock through the face hole. Your legs would be a little bit fucking breached, wouldn't they?
Looking like the antenna of some bug.
You need to hang on to a dumbbell, so you just didn't get like a seesaw. Yeah, I don't have a bug. I just enjoyed that after the fact.
Aye.
I was busy doing my seesaw thing when you said it.
That's all right. When was the last time you had a massage?
Probably altitude. They even fuck around in altitude. Like they're really good massages. Like they're not prudish about your bum.
Aye.
And they're like they try to wring you like a fucking cloth.
Good.
I think that's like, I feel like that's like real Austrian.
For me, if
Austria know how to do a spa. They know how to fucking do.
for me, like if you don't go for the hardest pain or like at least fucking medium to strong in a massage, if you get a soft massage, that's a korma to me.
Aye.
I'm like, you are just wasting.
You're meek.
That's not the point of the thing. Why don't you just go pay a stranger to rub their hands on your back?
You're like you can have a massage, you can get struck by a dog for the same money. Not by a dog. What's wrong with me?
You have a dog. How are you getting none of your dog references are making any sense. It's got 3 eyes like a dog, and big long trunk like a dog.
A squirrel shitting from trees like a dog. Yeah, I haven't had one for a while, but I'm due one. Like, should we just do each other when I want one? Matthew, close your eyes.
Then we both do him.
That would have been funny. Have a word restaurant if we started dishing shoulder massages and that.
Yeah.
That would have been an extra element. We didn't get any tips, did we?
No, and I was expecting to make tips. What a bunch of tight fucking bastards.
I don't really think we earned tips. Like, I wouldn't have tipped that service.
This is just for context. We were waiters on Have a Word's Patreon special where they rented out a restaurant, sold it out to their own fans, and then hired comedians to be staff because they know how little comedians have to do on a Tuesday evening.
I kept leaving the menus. We've already covered this in the last Patreon episode if you want to go back and do your homework. Right. But we'll add some additional stuff. I kept leaving the fucking menus, dude.
Aye.
That was one of the things as soon as they made that order, you're meant to be aware with the menus, aren't you?
Yeah.
I was looking at them just eating that fucking meal on just the messiest table.
Yeah. Well, just being like, why are you guys using a menu as a placemat? Because I'm not good at my job. Understood. Every time I thought I'd nailed a table, just in the sense of like, perfect interaction, everything looks good. The real waitress would just following after me and then like pick up all the bits I didn't. She's like, just out of curiosity, do most people eat desserts with chopsticks? And I'm like, now that you mention it, probably not.
It's bad idea that. Right. And, I had one where they kept asking about their main. I was like, I had that start, and they kept asking about their main, and I was just like, well, they've never worked in a kitchen before. It's fucking Eshan and that. They're just wait for it.
Aye, right? Be patient. You've got nothing else on.
And then I heard somebody just go, right, table 7's finished the starters or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's on me, that. That's on me, that. And that's what I tell you about when I went in and tell Dean, and he was the pastry chef, so I had to tell the other one. So anyway, I went back out and I fessed up everything. Like, I can see now when the waiters, like, have done that, and then they'll blame house loaders in the kitchen, or like they'll blame the chef because the chef's not there to defend herself.
Aye.
And I saw the opportunity to do that,
and you didn't.
And of course I didn't. I'm not going to get fired.
Oh, I don't think
I'm not going to get cut. It's not going to affect my. Oh, maybe it did, but it's not going to affect. Like, it was such a. What I loved about it is you're doing a job that's actually quite hard with no consequences when you get it wrong. In fact, you're making better content when you fuck it up. So it was like, I reckon any waiter or chef would love the opportunity to do what we just done with absolutely zero consequences. Run at your job.
No, I reckon they would do it a different, because we weren't rude to, like, we weren't horrible to the patrons. We weren't like, oh, fuck off.
Well,
we tried to do
massively unprofessional.
Yeah.
Like, I was like going up, leaving me pint at the table and just going, remain as me pint's there when I lose it.
Aye.
And then I'll just be shouting in the middle of the restaurant, does anyone know where my pint is? And then one of my tables will be like, you've left it over here. You can't do that at work.
Well,
Or could they?
I guess it depends on we've been to any, restaurants in Spain.
Aye.
That's, That's how they do it.
I'll
never not be racist to the Spanish.
I really enjoyed the element of adding a little bit of unprofessional charisma to something that's actually quite robotic.
Oh,
It's quite a robotic job, isn't it? Like, you go in, you do the thing. This is like an element of like smile and grace and all that, but it'd just be like pulling up a seat backwards like a fucking
substitute teacher.
Or like the fucking like a cop in the fucking integrate.
Yeah, I'm going to be a good cop here. So, the soup's off.
There was it was so, because you were like beforehand, because I was very much getting at the mindset of getting it right, and you were very much like, none of it matters,
no consequences,
none of this matters, and it was good to have that drilled into you that there's no consequences at all. So when you were fucking shit up, which was,
and also, man, they weren't our Patreons.
I mean, you guys,
like,
would have been special to you guys.
This isn't the Patreon episode.
But there's a few of them listening.
They've got it early. So, because my fiancée, Cara, is you know her, she's an insane person. In certain aspects, when it comes to her child or animals.
Yeah.
You know, normal person in every other aspect, but if it involves her kid or pets, she's an insane lady. She's like, what do we do for Caelan's first birthday? And there's part of me in my head which is like, I mean, he's not going to fucking remember it.
He's one.
So
let's do some stuff that we'll enjoy.
Let's not heaps.
The celebration's essentially for us at one. Yeah. It's like, it's celebrating our 1 year of keeping this boy alive.
Yeah. And then we're also like, man, so many of our friends have kids now and are going to have kids that are similar age. We're like, we will do it for us. We'll have a party for Caelan where we invite everyone round and they can bring their babies and we can all be like, and we can get a photo of all of our kids together on each other's first birthdays. But we understand. So, Cara,
so you can look and go, this was you on your first birthday.
And that was your friend, and this is your other friend. So, and Cara was also like, even she, and I wasn't expecting this from her, she was like, we'll not buy him a big present because he's won. He's not going to fucking
buy
remember
yourself
it.
something nice.
Yeah.
It's you guys that are celebrating.
Why,
he's
waste
not
the money?
celebrating.
And why waste the money? And Cara's quite thrifted like that normally, but not when it comes to her kid. Until she showed me this big soft play thing that you could buy. And she was, I want to get him this for his birthday party. And I was like, well, let's not buy it because, man, there's no point. We can buy him a soft play in the future, but not now, not at one. It takes
buying a soft play.
Like when I say soft play, I mean like a pyramid of foam covered, 2 cubes of foam. They stack on top of each other, and then like a foamy 3x3 ball pit because it's a baby. It doesn't fucking matter. Like it's quite a small thing, but
a portable soft play.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the prices. I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on a fucking for a first birthday present. Like, and why buy it now when it's just? I buy that when he's 3 and knows what it is. Like we can put him in it now. But it's just, he's not going to get the full enjoyment of it. I'm like, I bet they rent them out. I bet you can just rent these things for the day. So if we want to have 5 babies around at the house, right, and we want them all to be in the soft play, instead of buying it, rent it out, send it away. There's heaps of places that do that. So it's as common as renting a bouncy castle, right?
Right.
2 of the websites we go on, man, these websites were from 1997. Up to date with all relevant information, but just the oldest fucking website you've ever seen. Like the entire menu was just like square by square by square by square by square by square, and then you're just clicking more and more. The whole menu's down the side. There's no other pages. Nothing's hidden.
The links that you've already clicked on have turned purple.
Spot fucking on. But man, what they offer is exactly what we're after. It's just, here's a rental of a fucking small ball pit. Here's a rental of like 7 plush things that are soft on the ground and they can fall on, and here's a slide. It's just a fucking triangle.
Yeah.
Then third option we go to, this website, really good website. This motherfucker knows how to market to mothers of children who love their kids, and it's
this is the option you can get if you don't love your kid, but if you do,
then but why wouldn't you this? And
why would you not upgrade it to the deluxe for your child? Other mothers are.
It's more Instagrammable. Like it's clearly like the other ones where you're renting.
That's
like
the crux of it. Like
it's multicolored balls and it's all like bright colors and vibrant, and none of the things match when they're together. But this one, it's all like grays and whites, and it looks like an Instagram filter. It's like they all look like they're on an Instagram filter, so it just looks more fucking bougie and nice. And I can just see Khaled's face.
That's what it's for.
Like,
it's not for the kid.
No. And I can, so I'm just sitting there, we're both looking at the phone together, and I just see the hook go into her mouth, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop it. And she's like, this looks really good, and she's brilliant. And to be fair, it does look good. Like, the guy's nailing his fucking business model here. He's nailed the website, he's nailed his marketing, he's nailed his fucking target demographic, what he's fucking going for. Kai, guess the name of the company.
You know how people call stuff that's good with words word porn?
Yeah.
Have they called it child porn?
No.
Food porn.
Yeah. No, I got that. Yeah, I'm not gonna cut that bit out and just have you child porn.
Have they called it child porn? Right. So now that's off the menu. Now child porn's off the menu. Did they call it Mother's Delight?
Posh little people.
Oh.
I can't rent. I can't rent from a company called Posh Little People. I can't have that.
Tory baby.
Tory baby.
It's called Tory baby.
Or like
Posh little people.
Posh little people, man. Don't.
Man,
I know what it is, but don't name it. I know that's what I am by buying this. Don't call it that. My Tesla isn't called Cunt's car. It's called Tesla, right? So they've made it sound like, it's historic. It's very interesting. It's scientific. It's a cunt's car. They've not called it Cunt car. They've called it Tesla. You cannot do this thing obviously for fucking posh twats. Bring us in and be like, oh God, that looks good, and be like, and just so you know, on your fucking accountant's bill, it's going to come out on your tax return.
They're robbing themselves. And also, I wonder if like
are they though?
I wonder if a jockeys went to make a website and go, I can't believe that's taken. I can't believe Posh Little People's taken. That's us.
Is it a terrible decision, or is it secretly very clever? Because if it's not called Posh Little People, do you reckon the balls come back with like fucking crummy bits of chocolate on and everything, and just?
Oh, do you think the filter out my lot?
I'm just because that would put you off. Would you ever rent from Posh Little People?
Nah.
Right. So there you go.
Nah. Not until they change their name. You couldn't bring yourself to it. It's so fucking Tory. It's so Tory.
It is. It's just But
you are a wee bit of a Tory.
I guarantee, and I will say this with massive confidence, I guarantee I pay more tax than every single Tory MP and politician. There's no doubt in my mind.
I get that, but if they're making cuts for their mates, you'll get a benefit from it. If the Tories get their way, you'll be like, oh, that's really rude. Thanks, bud.
Thank you so much. That is.
Oh, look at them! They've got a new turn on it.
I don't know. I've not watched the news in so long. Nah. I'm just like, it doesn't give me anything anymore. I'm like, I just look at the thing and be like, well, turns out I do hate most of everyone in the world.
Do you ever lose touch with football and then tune back in and realise that Peter Cech plays for Arsenal now? You know, that sort of stuff. And you're just like, what?
Yeah, hold on.
I know, fucking, because I had little spells like that where I had fucking my career was all consuming because I was trying to make it as a stand-up, and then when I fucking breached back into the fucking real world again, me mates' kids are fucking a lot older now, and I've missed a couple of seasons of football. There was a portion of my life that's been fucking missed like that.
Aye.
And I feel like that's happening to me right now with news. I feel like I can tell that there's changeovers and MPs and chancellors and stuff like that because I see the jokes on Twitter.
Aye.
But I never actually read the news story. So there's a fucking bunch of shit that's happening now where I'm probably going to have a blind spot to it in 10 years.
I don't even like getting the jokes of them anymore because I think that gives you a false perception because because that's the way the algorithm works. It just shows you people that you agree with. But if you just see everyone insulting the current government, you're like, oh, great. Well, that means surely next time they're going to fuck off. And then you go out and you vote because you're like, here we go, it's going to be the big swing. And then you're like, we lost by 90%. That's unbelievable. Like, I could have fucking sworn. Because my Twitter, in which I follow 250 people, is very confident that this... And you just forget that fucking Middle England's a thing.
Aye. I don't know what they're getting out of it because their bills are going up as well. Like everybody's bills are going up. And nobody's paying.
What do you think it's just like,
every cunt's striking at the minute and no what's happening about it. So like, so what are people getting out of it? Where are people going? These are my guys.
Well,
Like,
I think it's literally just doesn't affect me. Fuck it.
Yeah, do you think so?
Might be the like Trump thing of like they've been a Tory for so long, they're too scared to admit.
Oh yeah, there's
Now that it's so obvious, they're not going to change their stance.
Like, I wouldn't change my football team, even if the Saudis took over. They're fanatical, they're sports fanatics about it because they've been like, during the election, they got held to account for their fucking political beliefs and then defended them like vehemently. And now they're stuck in a position where they're getting bummed the same as everybody else because of their vote. But they're just like pretending that they're enjoying being bummed because that's what they voted for. Aye. And they're just like, oh, it's class this.
My plan for fixing the entire fucking government, right? You can have this. Term limits of 10 years are cumulative. You can't serve for more than fucking 10 years in the government at all. 10 years and you're done.
Each party?
No, as a politician, the most you can accumulate in the fucking job is 10 years. After that, it's over. And if you want to be, I think we've spoken about this on the podcast before, but bring it up again. If you want to be the leader of the country, you can be the leader of the country, but when your term is over, it's the death penalty. Right? That's it. That's it. That's the deal. And there's no way out of that. You can't change the law in there. That's if you want to serve the country. By the way, guess what?
Is there one way ticket to Mars? Do you want to go to Mars or do you not want to go to Mars?
Like, you want to be the leader of the country. But here's the good thing. Your first term is going to be 4 years. Obviously, we'll let you run for a second term. But if you fuck up that first 4 years, it's still, that's your term over.
Yeah.
And it is the guillotine.
I've got another idea. Is that the same as with like your football team, right? You don't just want the fucking longest serving footballer to be in, like, I'm getting this all wrong, right? Age is key because of their physical ability, right? But also I think age is key because of their mental ability. I think you should be a young, enthusiastic person if you're running the country. And anybody that's older, coach them. You're the backroom staff. The older people just fucking hang up your boots. You had your fucking moment. You had your time to shine. Let the fucking... It's their country. It's theirs and their kids. Right? You've had your bit. You know, if you're fucking 50 and you're still calling shots, based on what? The world you used to live in. And not the world you live in now that other people are trying to inhabit and have a nice time. I reckon let youngins do it.
How young?
You're retired now.
Also,
You're in your last years. I'm done, mate. I'm coaching.
I don't know if you can go that young. I don't know if you can let...
I reckon, like, if you're still going when you're 38, that means you're Ronaldo. That's based on the football you've done.
Yeah, but I don't... Like, you reach your physical fucking peak.
You'll get a couple of James Milners in there that are fucking knocking on 40, you know what I'm saying? But, like, based on fucking how fucking incredible they've been in that time. But even then, they're starting to do their badges.
I reckon there should just always be... You have to wear a certain suit as a politician, right? And in it, in the back, just sewn into the lining, is a grenade, right? And to the pin of the grenade is a bit of string, right, with a pulley. It comes at your back. You look like Woody from Toy Story. And if you say the same stock line in more than 2 interviews in a row, which proves that you're not answering like a human being, we get to pull your Woody string. Like, if there's any evidence of you being like, there's a snake in my butt, there's a snake in my butt, there's a snake.
Yeah,
you know,
is it now? Let's just
go,
fucking pull this scene
that's
again,
it. So,
John.
hey, you said the same thing twice. It's your Woody. Okay.
And then just everyone in question time just gets covered in flesh.
Yeah.
Like, all right, who's next?
They just have to... I just think there's good ways to kill them.
Who? Politicians? Just in general?
Well, I mean, at what point do you just go... They're not... No, none of them are scared of you. But
you know what's happening? You know what's happening?
And by the way, this is on both sides. Please don't think this is a fucking these bloody Tories. I'm fucking sick.
But
of
I mean,
the
they're the
cunts on
ones
the-
in charge, so that's
Aye,
what happened.
that's why we're throwing shit in this direction. But understand, it's also pushing that
And
direction.
I love to think that if the people I voted in got in, right, I'd hold them to account for making us look like a dickhead if they were doing shit wrong. I'd be like, you're making me look like a prick. I voted for this shit. I'm going to deal with it. What they're doing...
I imagine that's how most people feel watching fucking Biden. Where they're just like, oh man, you were the only other option, but Jesus.
But you'd have to, you'd want to hold them to account. What I think it is what we did in that restaurant where before we went into the restaurant is we just went, none of this matters.
Aye.
It's not a real restaurant. That's what they do when they're running the country. They just go, it's just a game.
Aye.
Like, it doesn't matter if I fuck this up. I'm going to be doing after dinner speaking for fucking 10 grand an appearance. I'm going to be fucking just wheeled around to different events on a free ticket.
Aye.
As the guest of honour.
Oh, I mean, that is afterwards. You're not allowed to work. Or at the end of the term, at the end of your term, your wage is what the lowest person in the country's earning. That's the standard.
How about, as part of the fucking internship to become a leader, you have to just go and do a year at a company at minimum wage, and you just have to live as one of the people that you're serving. Because they've got no idea. They've got no idea what it's like to work in a factory. Put them in a factory for a bit.
You can't. No, fuck off. Did you used to pack panties or some shit? What did you do?
I've packed skirts.
Aye.
I've packed lipsticks.
Aye.
Got high on my own supplies on it.
Imagine
I packed Ariel.
Imagine you're packing your skirts away, right? And you're like, oh fucking hell, this job, this is so fucking mundane. How old were you?
16 then.
16. You're just going, oh god, this is absolute shit. You look up and you see a 33-year-old Boris Johnson just sniffing the skirts, and you're like, man, they're not worn.
No
Can
one's
you
even
stop
worn them
doing
yet,
that? Can you
Boris?
stop doing that?
Like they're fresh off the loom, them. What are you doing? You're smelling fibres and fabrics. That's not even... I think you're trying to get off on the wrong thing.
It's the principle.
Trying to get off on the wrong thing,
the
man.
thing is, I shouldn't be doing this, and that's why I am.
We used to have to like see what size it was, clip on the tag for what size it was, fold it up and put some like tracing paper thing, and then fold it up and then put it in the right box, and then get the next one and then find the thing, clip it. So you'd have boxes for size 14, 18 or whatever all around you. It was fucking monotonous. Fucking monotony. Let them do that for a bit and just like and see what you have to do to make your pennies.
Here's a question for you in just relation to the clothes things. I was having a debate with this with someone the other day. Do you wash your clothes, new clothes, before you put them on?
No, but my mother does.
Her clothes are your clothes?
Not mine. She
Right,
has
I'm
no
sorry, I
idea of my
thought...
laundry.
well, that's what I thought you were like.
But she would have back in the day, yeah.
Aye. See, because Cara does it with our son's clothes, because obviously, like, he's got sensitive skin.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens in, like, the between of something being delivered. It's built in a fucking factory somewhere, there's chemicals.
She just fibres in it and that every now.
Just get it washed. But, I mean...
Aye.
I've
had these jeans for 2 years. I don't think they've been through the washing.
I don't. I'm like, that's a really. There's some things that I'm just like, I'm not. Not only can I not be arsed doing that, I also just do. Maybe it's a self-respect thing. Like, you know, I don't iron my clothes because in my head I'm like, I'm not fucking spending an hour just ironing something I'm about to put on.
There's a handful of things that, like, if I'm ironing, I'm going to a wedding.
Yeah.
There we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's even been... I think I ironed a T-shirt before I went on stage the other day. Oh, no, I couldn't find an iron. I give up on it.
Yeah.
I was going to do the Playhouse, not the Playhouse, what do we do? The Armadillo.
Yeah, the SEC.
And I had a nice polo shirt, white polo shirt, and I was just like, oh, it's a bit creasy now when it's under harsh light.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a big gig, make an effort. And my effort was checking 3 cupboards.
You're like, this is what the people of Glasgow deserve.
And then I was like, well, looks like I'm going to be creased then. And you know what? It's fine.
Would you... Does Natalie iron stuff?
Nah.
Not even like when she was at work, didn't really?
The iron board's rarely out in our house.
Oh, I see, that was the thing. I had this like fucking secret hope. I'm like, fucking... And I imagine Cara was having the exact same thing. We were 2 people in a relationship when we started living together, just being like, fuck, I hope that cunt gets into ironing. Like, I think
Some people like it.
Man,
Some people find it like therapeutic.
I find it fucking therapeutic to do. Man, I like doing the dishes. I'm like, and also, man, I can listen to.
Well, loading the dishwasher, you mean?
No,
Like actually physically doing the dishes.
Yeah. Well, I'll load the dishwasher, but if you've cooked, like, man, because there are rules to what can and cannot be washed in a fucking dishwasher.
Pans in there.
Aye.
I mean, sometimes I do. If, like, you know what? If I'm like, I want to set this away, but there's a bit more room. One little spin won't hurt the wok.
No, you fucking wanker. But man, you got all Kale and fucking shit after he eats. Can't put his stuff through the dishwasher.
You have like wooden spoons in there, do you?
The wooden spoons cannot go into a fucking dishwasher in which water is
He
dredged.
doesn't even put his clogs in the washing machine.
It expands and it contracts and it ruins. You put a fucking wooden chopping board. You put several of my wooden chopping boards into dishwashers, and then you're like, why are your chopping boards all wavy and bent? I'm like, because you drowned them in boiling hot water. Right? That's why rain isn't like.
Grow up.
Grow up! I have nice chopping boards. That is growing up. You grow up.
So anyway, you like to do the washing and all that. And fucking
Maybe I should. Maybe instead of just waiting for Cara to get into it, maybe I should just.
be there and a guy.
Well, because man, I could just sit and fucking listen to me book, and I do like that.
People who iron their bedding really stand by ironing their bedding, but however, man, you know, like I sometimes like look at me day. It's like these how long you're awake? 16 hours if you've had a good night, right? There's just 16 hours, right? I'm gonna spend 1 hour of that walking a dog, right, in the morning, and then maybe one later on. Now I'm doing it 14 hours, right, and then. And I'll try and use them hours to put some podcasts on, listen to some shit as well. Put an hour of that in the gym, right? I'm fucking. As soon as you chip away, put your meals in, right? The shites and all that, right? Chip away. You're doing the single figures for your hours. Motherfucker, are you taking one of them hours for me to iron, Ben? Not in a million years.
I can't even fold bed.
Fucking years are you taking one of them hours out of my day? I'm dying. Like, I'm not diagnosed with anything, but you know, I've got a life expectancy.
Yep.
And if in that 1 hour I can watch fucking an episode of Andor, I mean, I could do that while I was ironing the bed.
I mean, that's what
But no.
I'm suddenly come to the realization maybe ironing is the way forward. It's just so. I don't know. It's also it's not like, man, you don't have to be good at washing dishes. Like, you just like if you just do if you wash dishes long enough, they'll eventually be clean. There's faster ways to do them. There's more fucking efficient ways to do it. But if you were to just monotonously do this, whatever you're cleaning will eventually end up clean. That's not true for ironing.
The means doesn't justify the ends.
You've got you can iron a bit of fucking shit.
Normalise creases.
Aye.
Normalise creases. Who are doing it for? And I mean, it does like you know.
I think that's the next stage of, like, you know how, fat people are allowed to model clothes now, and like the plus size thing. That there was never any, even mannequins. They never had. It was always just the skinny fucking fit people. Right, and good. We're making progress. People come in different sizes. We can show that we can cater to all of these fucking people.
Like, you can't have like.
Don't fucking iron the ones on the mannequin. Like, let's these people who iron at this. Back when there was nothing to do. Back when you were like a stay-at-home wife because it was the 1920s and you had kids and your job was to just keep your husband running, so you ironed everything and you were bored because there wasn't any television. It was fine back then. There's heaps of shit to do now, and now everyone that irons, I think, has some level of autism.
And there's a small portion of people who are listening to this podcast while doing the ironing, because it's a perfect time to listen to a podcast and do the ironing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you guys. I mean, you're not going to look class when you put that on. You're going to look better than we do without doing that, but however, you're making us look bad.
Yeah. If the rest of the world could just lower its standards instead of us improving ourselves, well, then we'd be the United States of America. Got 'em! Boo.
What else are you negligent of?
Chores-wise.
Aye.
We've got a cleaner now, and there's like
how are you for curtains? Do you like close the curtains at night and open them in the morning?
the ones in our bedroom.
Aye. What about like did they downstairs? You just have like a.
We don't have any curtains downstairs.
I so you don't. Nah. You got new neighbours or just. Just watching telly.
Oh,
it's fine. Actually, quite.
But the good thing
enjoy
is we can't really watch television during the day because there's so much natural light in our house.
Yeah,
and we have a projector. So like,
you know what? I was going to question you about your setup. You've got this built-up fucking projector.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 4K projector, so it doesn't matter how fucking big it is, and it's massive. You're not going to lose any of the fucking clarity on the picture, right? Which is so great to have. But you haven't dealt with the light pollution in your house, so you can only watch it in the winter.
Mm-hmm. no, you can watch it at night anytime.
No, we live in Scotland. During the summer, you get like 4 hours of night time.
No, that's not.
It starts being like late until like 10, like light until 10 at night.
But you can watch it if during the summer. There's enough fucking light in there that you can at 7 or 8.
Get some of them fucking just like what you get. You know, built hotels where there's a fucking button and it just press it and it blacks out.
I know, but that's another one of those things where I'm just like, that's going to be from some company called Rich Wanker Blinds.
Aye.
Right, and I like it. It's one of those things where I'm like, I can't
treat
think of
yourself to Rich Wanker Blinds, man.
Nah.
Treat yourself.
No,
I see you watching telly just like on your like, and I'm like, is anyone going to point out that you're not really watching this? You're just listening to it, and then that's what I want to get to. You listen to it through the fucking projector speaker. Aye. You've got this built-up projector putting 4K on your wall, and you've got this tiny little fucking LCD fucking speaker.
Yeah, absolutely fine. Like, man, it's just no.
Nah, mate.
Every time I watch Inception or anything, man, could not like it adds to the experience, but it adds 3% to the experience.
No.
I swear, like I got new headphones like a year ago, and they've literally changed. Like I've listened to songs that I listened to for 6 years, and you just hear so
You're
much
not going
new
to change
stuff.
my opinion with this argument about songs.
No, but just even watching films, there's just so much clarity.
You miss so much of the film. There's like so much shit going on, and you're just hearing it. And like the action's happening way over there because it's a massive fucking setup, right? You've got a big room, right? It's happening way over there, and then so it starts the fucking car engine, and you can hear like on your right shoulder, and you're like, why can't I just hear the thing from where it's coming from?
The worst thing about the cinema is how fucking loud it is. I don't mind. Like,
man, if I was talking to you now, right, but my voice was coming from over there, you'd be like, this is pissing us off. Will you just have the voice coming from?
No.
Oh, did I?
But yeah, there was just a funny noise in
perfect timing on the audio. You'd just be a bit annoyed by it. You'd be like, why the fuck is it not coming from the thing that it's meant to be coming from? Because that's why speakers on telly are fine, because the speakers are on the telly. You've just put your sound for the thing you're watching all the way over there.
I'm not. And then my brain goes, this is what he's saying, like. And then I watched the movie. Man, it doesn't
make any sense. This is what you've done, right? What you've done is getting a fucking Lamborghini, right? But you're like, but look, it gets from A to B with a fucking Corsa engine, so I'll just have a Corsa engine in it. It looks like I've got a Lamborghini, but look, I'm still getting to the shop.
Well, no,
I'm still going to get there.
Right,
you're like, but it just doesn't have the power, and it doesn't have the fucking things and the joy.
Sounds the colour of the car. Like I wouldn't have gone for lime green. No. I'm like, I don't care.
Sounds one of the most important things.
Oh, to you maybe. Could not. Man, I watch fucking subtitle stuff all the time. Like, that's how I watch things. I'm consuming.
I can tell why. You might not have to do that anymore.
No, man. I'm not getting fucking speakers. And also, we don't want to watch TV during the day. If we can, we go through to the snook. That's not. But no, man, that's.
I just don't know why you rob yourself. I look at you, and I just go, he's absolutely robbing himself of a nice experience.
Oh, that would be a waste.
Films there, going so close. So close to having a good cinematic enjoyment.
No, well, I mean, feel free to pay someone to come around and put speakers in, but nothing.
Just buy them and plug them in.
You could get PC speakers, plug them in. Yeah, I would just.
What? But then it's so fucking loud, and there's a baby upstairs, and people are in other rooms.
I had a show through a projector in my flat, and I just got some PC speakers, and fucking I think they're like 50 quid. I think I plugged them in, and the difference of it, because that's not. I don't even know why they've got a speaker in that. It's probably for when you're doing presentations or something. And there's just like some kind of like fucking doing noise on the.
I imagine this. The speaker's good enough. They're not gonna.
Bad. I wonder if when they're like doing the fucking shooting the film and they've got like the fucking boom mic and they've got all this fucking amazing thousands of pounds worth of audio equipment. I wouldn't have to do that if they just knew what people were doing with it at the other end.
Oh, but,
Maybe you just record on your iPhone.
Man, to me, this is literally you're complaining about how I fucking make a cup of tea, and I'm like, nothing could matter to me less.
I'm pulling you on how you could get a lot more enjoyment out of something that you're almost there.
No,
with.
I think you're assuming I get a level of enjoyment for something you get a level of enjoyment from.
No, but you're like arguing. You're like, oh, I could watch a film in black and white. It's just as good.
There you go. Aye.
No, it's not.
Well,
No. But you're saying like,
you're losing like so much information.
How?
Because there's like,
but I can hear. No, I'm not. Like the information I'm losing is the car's over there, but it sounds like it's coming from there.
I think.
Yeah, but there's like a simple one is.
But how could the car be there if it's behind me there? I don't understand this movie.
No.
Because there's like
you've got a thing here. This is like we're discovering something about. You know how some people are colorblind.
Oh.
Is it tone deaf?
No, that's like for like singing and stuff.
But
from a speaker, right?
If
you have two speakers, you get left and right audio. All audio is on 2 tracks. You can get directional audio.
But to what end? I know
because you're watching a film to be immersed in it. So like having something be on the left side of the screen, hearing it from the left, and then it on.
That's like. I remember fucking Brett sent this into the group a while ago, and he had to get 2 sets of headphones on, and then they did the exact thing where they made it sound like a car was driving around you, and I'm like, this is so boring to me. Like that doesn't add.
But you know, like if you're in a film and you've got it like widescreen, so it fills your periphery vision, so because you care about stuff, that's the part of the immersion, which is why you've got a big telly, right? So if then something like explodes behind you in the car and then you can hear it behind you, why would you not want that? And why, if it's something happening in front, if the gunshot's going over there and whooshing over your head, like
yeah, but for games as well.
Yeah, but I'm not in the movie, and I don't play games on that computer, on that TV.
All right, but
I'm not saying I've got all that stuff. I listen to the fucking stuff with the screen of me telly, but like I haven't got the setup you've got.
No.
But it's like we bought microphones. There's microphones for the podcast rather than using the camera audio.
Yes, but if you listen to the audio quality of this podcast over the years, it's nothing I've ever given a shit about.
Yeah, I know, but on the receiving end,
aye.
Like, would you use like a shitty pair of earphones to listen to music, or would you prefer using a nicer pair?
No,
I know you've got a nice pair of headphones.
No, I've got a nice pair of headphones so I can wear them on airplanes and people don't talk to me.
So you just see sound as on and off?
Aye.
Yeah, you even see quality in it at
all.
Man,
I don't like live music. I like some songs. It's not... Audio is not stimulating for me unless it's the words itself.
So you know when somebody like goes out of like what you would consider to be an ugly person, would you expect that person to be like, well, it's just a person, isn't it? It's got a mouth and nose and eyes and ears.
I don't think that works.
And you're like, but you do know the difference between like something that's attractive and something that's unattractive. And then, so I'm just trying to appeal to you with something that you do see a scale of. I'm trying to appeal to you on something that you understand. Like, you know the difference between quality levels of a thing.
Yeah, but that does not add to my quality. That's not like... Man, if I were to sit in front of a fucking screen and it'd be like, oh my God, I heard that person shout from over there, and it sounded like it was coming from over there, but that person shouted from it, and it sounded like, man, my eyes did that.
But what about just on a basic level is like the sound's coming from a screen with really good quality, or like it's coming from the area that you're watching in really good quality, or it's coming from like a baby monitor behind you.
So what about I think you're dissing the fucking projector there.
No, because the projector speaker is just a projector speaker. It's not they didn't make themselves. They're not a speaker company. They're a projector company that happened.
Well, the TV company.
It's like when you get a slice of pizza from Greg's. You know, it's not going to be the best.
No, I imagine if they're making a 4K thing, they put some effort into the fucking sound. They're not just like any fucking speaker.
There's dedicated audio equipment. Like, that's the point of a speaker. Is it's the dedicated sound part.
This is quite a strange little part of you. This.
Man, bring it up with Cara and see if she gives a shit. Because
it's like you could still enjoy a movie, obviously, but it's just like an extra layer of
putting a spoiler on your car.
No,
aye, for me.
No, but like nah.
Different rims.
I think if you went to a fucking venue and they had a shitty mic and shitty speakers, and when we were doing sound check, it sounded tinny, and you'd be annoyed that your audience were paying. that or being let down by the audio when you're actually trying to put like a fucking really good experience in for them, and then they've got like this really tacky audio. I think you do see the difference between good audio and bad audio, because on a professional level, if it was lacking, you'd absolutely spot it. So when you're thinking about your own entertainment,
what I would spot is I cannot hear the words you are saying. There's never at any point I've been watching a movie being like, well, fuck knows what that explosion was, or fuck knows what he said there. I understand everything that's happening. I hear the sounds, the quality of the sounds. I would notice if I was missing it.
You could watch a film in like garbage quality and see a shitty explosion and see all the pixels in it. And you can tell an explosion's happening, but you're like, I would prefer this if I could see the detail.
I can still watch the football in SD, but I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I watch it in SD again. I can tell what's happening.
Yeah, but visuals important. Visuals, because I don't know. I don't know. It's a fucking difference in the quality. This is like people who say that like vinyl does sound better than whatever. I'm like, couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a shit. If you're able to get to a level where like recorded stuff from an iPod sounds different to vinyl, good for you. Could not. Difference between fucking tap water and still water.
I think you've got a deaf spot. I think you've got a blind spot in your.
I mean, maybe it would. It would explain my taste in music.
It's so like shit. I think you're only hearing like 2D or something. I don't know. Like maybe I don't know.
I can't. Nothing matters to me. I'd be more concerned about what I was sitting on.
Aye. Yeah. I mean,
fair enough.
Aye. It was noteworthy though. Like I do think it was worth pointing out that like you've got this belter set up, but you listen to it out of a tin can.
Nah.
Don't you? Do you think one day? Do you think there's a possibility that one day, right, like say suppose Cullen's noticed it, right, which I don't know if he has, and he just thinks one day like he's done an advert or something, he's got a bit of money, and he's like, they've been fucking good of us while I've lived here, I'm gonna fucking get a really nice fucking Dolby 7.1 sound system, right, I'm gonna set it all up in the house. Do you think one day you're gonna be watching a film and is there a potential that you'd go, oh aye?
I mean. Well, I mean, I've sat in IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's visually better. The audio doesn't do.
Yeah, but there's there's hundreds of people in each film that work only on the audio. That's how important it is.
Boo, fuck. And there's people who can paint things that I don't want to fucking look at.
Yeah, no, but
there's people who do there's really good jazz musicians, and I would rather they shot me dead than do what they do in front of me.
I feel like I respect that has an element of subjectivity to it though, and I feel like audio quality is a bit more objective.
I mean, maybe I'm autistic, but
I didn't want to back into that corner here, but
there's
your acoustic.
Oh, there it is. But no, man, I've.
Why have you got Cara Ugly written on the whiteboard in my handwriting?
Well, she's been spending too much time with you, and Cullen, so she's been trying to fucking spin shit.
Are you saying that?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You're saying that we're bad influences on your fiancée?
And she's a dreadful influence, and you're all terrible for each other.
So what's she spinning now?
She needs to get passport photos, and this is, you know, when your partner cares about something and you don't, and there's that thing where they're like, "Can you come over here?" And you're like, "No, no, I can't." When I'm interested in something, I'll be interested. Am I interested in our wedding plans? Most of them, yes. I'll be interested in this. Are you interested in audio quality? I'm not coming over there. It's not my interest. Yeah. Enjoy it as much as you like. I'm not wavering. She's like, "What, with these passport photos good?" I'm like, "Yeah, anyone." Mm-hmm. She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "These passport."
They both look like you.
Yeah. She's like, "But my eyebrows raised in that one." I'm like, "Okay, it's your face." She's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "Middle one." Use the middle one. She's like, "You sure?" I'm like, It's not going on Instagram. It's a fucking passport photo."
Don't care.
I don't, and I can see you want me to have an opinion, but I don't want to give you a false opinion because I don't want to. That's important to you. I don't want to just be like, "Yeah, fucking that one, whatever." So your decision. Which one? That one, fine. It takes ages to fucking print out, and it comes out, and the picture comes out, and I just smile at it. I think my fiance is a very attractive person, And the picture comes out.
And that was her face in that moment of time when the photo was taken.
Yeah, and also, like, if I try and look at herself through her eyes, which are wrong in this sense, I'm like, all right, well, I guess she's mad that she's not smiling in it, but it's a passport photo. Like, of course, she doesn't look like her happy herself. So it comes out, and I still smile at it because that's my beautiful. She was like, I can't believe you laughed at that. And I'm like, you'd know if I was laughing. Like, I don't have Jimmy Carr's laugh, but like
I got some photos taken for for press stuff and for me posters, and Natalie was howling at me because I looked ridiculous in them. Because I was trying to pose.
Yeah, I did the exact same with the fucking photo shoot I did with Troy. And I'm like, she's like, you look like an idiot. And I'm like, I was trying to look like an idiot, and also if I look like an idiot most of the time.
She couldn't breathe for laughing.
Aye.
How bad I look.
It comes out, she's like, you laughed at that. I'm like, I absolutely did not laugh at this, but I know she does this thing. I'm like you and like Cullen, the second she gets her version of a story in her head, she's like, and now this is the bit. This is the story I'm telling, because if I'm a big, even though we do exaggerate stories, I'm a big believer in truth. Like, I fucking hate when people. I hate when you twist stories that make me look like they are.
You're doing one right now.
I'm like, that's
You're
not
twisting
what.
this.
I'm like, that's not what happened. I'm like, that's not what happened. Don't slander my fucking character through your lies for only a laugh that you'll get, and so you're costing my character to the benefit of yours. It's such a horrific. It's the opposite of a suicide bomber. It's you take everything and you gain everything.
Great.
I do not like it as a bit, and I'm like, you know what? The best thing is to just fucking let it pass, and then later on,
the more you bite, the more you get reeled in.
Aye, and man, and if you listen to this podcast, you know I'm a biter.
To wait for my speech, man. So the thing with photos, right, is I sometimes look at my photos, like, just, candid shots, and I'm like, right? And then they'll pop up, like, Matty will just post one fucking ages later, zoomed in on me on a group photo, right? And I'll be like, aye, fair one, right? But I am never in my life going to try and start curating that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I look like. This is the cold hard reality. Not like, I don't like how I look in that photo. The photo did nothing, mate. That's how you look.
Yeah.
That is how you look. It got captured in that moment of time from that angle. People see you from that angle all the time, by the way. So don't just go, right, it's got to be this angle, the camera's got to be up there, I've got to be smiling in this way, boom, right, keep that one, delete the rest of them. Because that's not who you are.
Aye,
You're the person in all the photos you deleted. The best thing you can do is not delete them, it's just get over it. That's what you look like.
Aye. Posting pictures of yourself on, not even Instagram, any fucking social media, or just keeping them as you're like, I look terrible in this, because sometimes I look terrible. That's just, hey, sometimes I look dead handsome, and I'll see the occasional photo of myself and I'm like, I can see what Cara sees in me. Like, I can be like, I know she likes who I am, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I can see why she would want to fuck me. And then there's other times where I'm like, has she no shame?
Aye, but I sleep with my mouth open, and that's who she gets to see in the mornings. I think the sooner you can come to terms with what you look like in photos is just the sooner you can be happy, like.
Well, I mean, that's something we discussed about in the last podcast, but it's like, what are you willing to do when your body's deteriorating? What are you willing to do to stop it? Like, you can, like, if you're getting older, people that go to the gym, I'm like, great, that's just you taking care of yourself a bit more, giving yourself a longer life.
And even then, that's got to be for you too.
Aye.
You can't be doing that for how you look. You've got to do it for how you feel.
But like injections and dyeing your grey bits, I mean, if you're going bald and you want hair, I'm like, that's fair enough, because you are going to get bullied heaps, and unless you're gay, it's probably not going to work for you.
I think it's nearly there with the hair stuff. Like, it's the technology's nearly there. That, like, everybody that you see who's had it done, like fucking Conte and Rob Holden and that, like fucking even Rooney before his went bald again. Like, you go. Actually, they've done a fucking decent job of that.
Imagine having such.
It's probably just the price of it. That's the
hereditary DNA for being bald.
I went bald twice.
That they put a wig on you.
He's so bald. He's so bald. He went bald twice.
They put synthetic hair on you, and even though nothing should be able to kill that, your bald spot was still like, how fucking dare you? I deserve the sun.
Aye. I think I think it's fine to just let like, if your hair gans when you're older, it's fine to just let it go. You like, if I get in like my 40s and my hair starts fucking. I mean, it's already made a start, but like it's gone. I'm like, I'm at an age now where that's all right. You know, if someone's in their 20s and their fucking hair's starting again, just fucking go to Turkey. Just go and sort it out.
But what about
Treat yourself. You'll feel classic with it.
But what about them big white teeth though?
I don't know. I like the way I'm doing it. And I'm even in my 40s now where it doesn't, like, none of it matters. I'm married, like, fucking, I'm trying to look attractive for one person, really. And for my reflection.
Me?
And for you.
Oh, I thought I was the one person.
My adoring audience. But you don't need to go. You don't need, like, you can just take your time with that. Like, at the gym, you can be tantric about it, go and get it's probably financially about the same. I don't know how much it is to go and get your teeth taken out and put back in Turkey, but there's an option there where you don't.
What you could do, if you want half the price, is before you fly out to Turkey, just like go out to a bar, start saying like horrific things to everyone in that bar, get them to knock your teeth out, and then just go to Turkey for the replacement. Because surely half the price is
taking them out.
Taking them out.
Just date a silly jackass.
Aye.
She's the door.
Aye. You know how they do it, like, occasionally when a kid needs to lose a tooth, they'll, like, tie some string around it and do it in creative ways, like slam a door or tie it to a fucking firework.
Back and say your mother.
Aye. Just being like, it's dinner ready. Is it actually this time or are you just bringing us down?
but this is the most what's the word for it? Disrespectful complaint you can ever have. Is in my missus does it. She tells me dinner's ready, and she's made me dinner. Daniel, she's made me dinner. She chopped stuff. I'm in my office doing some fucking admin. Right.
Sometimes you're just playing computer games.
Oh, sometimes I'm just fucking posting stuff on social media and pretending I'm working because I've got a fucking public profile.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll just be sat there on my phone, half on my emails and all that. I can smell me dinner. She's a good cook.
She
and
is.
that's going to be dead nice. And I'm going, dinner's ready. And I'll be like, right, I'll quickly send this. And I'll fucking post the thing. I'll rush it. And I'll like, right, I can do that email later. I'll get on through. Still in the pan. It's the most disrespectful complaint. I just have to go, did she say it was ready because she thought I was going to take longer coming through?
Is this my fault?
Did you give us a bit of a, like, it's ready, and that means you can wrap up what you're doing?
Yep. Do you think it's just the difference between definitions of ready? Because, like, Carol will go to me, are you ready? And I'm like, I can be ready in 5 minutes. Right. But I'll say to her, are you ready? She'll be like, yeah. And then it's still another 10 minutes before we leave. She's like, I'm ready to go. What she means is I've got all my things I need to go, but she's not putting her jacket, putting her shoes, done the other things.
And as well, like, I get with that. If she's like, are you ready? And I'm like, I can just be ready. Just tell us when we're leaving, right? I'm ready. And then I'll get in the car and I'll go, oh, I forgot my fucking case for my teeth. Or like,
she's actually
I'm gonna need my phone charger, and I'll run back in and get something. So I kind of get that. Like, with me personally, like, I get that where I'm
but
ready.
with the food,
but
thing,
with the food stuff, I'm
just like you're like, this is. Look, every other part of the service has been sweet.
It's been amazing. I'm not going to complain. I'll talk about it on a podcast that you might want to listen to. And I about 6 episodes behind, and this is going to probably be around about like January, February. When you,
so I get to enjoy your cooking till then.
But it is such a funny thing. Like I had.
Hey, get her back next time she's giving you head. Just well before, just be like, I'm gonna come. And then
way before.
5 minutes.
I was listening. What's upset you now?
Aye.
With Paul McCaffrey and Sean Walsh, and they had John Richardson on as a guest, and he just like, you know, when someone just gets you with something really cathartic.
Yeah.
And it's when my wife makes us a cup of tea, she holds the handle and hands me the cup of tea. And I think, because she's just made you a cup of tea, you can't complain about it. Yeah. But I'm just like, and then I put it down, and then she comes as soft. Like, and I'm just like, look, just put it, like, you can't give instructions to someone that's made you something.
Aye.
But like, you can just put it down there, and then when I need it, I'll use the handle. Or like, what I might just start doing is just like slip my fingers in and go, well, can you not get your fingers out? Oh, one of us should have thought this through.
No, just do it to me like she does. Thank you. Just have her stand there. Oh, thank you.
These are like the far extreme of my diamond shoes are too tight when you when you complain about somebody who's provided you a free service.
Yeah, but to be fair, that would be like her being like, Natalie, can you just pass me the knife, please? Sure. Ding. Thank you. Oh, I guess she passed it.
She did pass the knife. This is actually this is the people who do bad reviews on a podcast. Mm-hmm. That they didn't pay for.
Aye.
And so they've just listened to you make a thing and they went, shite that.
I have to tell them. What shows do we have coming up?
We are going to be in London multiple times, by the way, because it keeps selling out, which is class.
So the rollovers for
but they're not like back to back to back.
No, so London this Friday, and then
so that you kind of come to that one. So unless you've got a ticket,
and then
Newcastle.
I think that's sold out, or maybe have a check.
Is that at the City Hall? I think that's at the City Hall. That's quite a big gig for me. Like I like that. Like you know how we do like. You can collect venues, kind of. You can be like, oh, we've done the Beacon and the Apollo and the Wilbur. There's certain venues where you're like, that's a shiny.
Aye, the Edinburgh Playhouse.
That's a shiny. Newcastle City Hall, that's a shiny for me. I don't know if it'll have quite as much effect to you, but I'm like, that's a nice. Oh, nice. That's a like a tune venue I haven't done yet.
Oh well, in that case, maybe by the sounds of things, it's definitely not sold out. So if you're in Newcastle, come to that, because I assumed it was just where we normally are.
I know, but we normally do it multiple times at the Journal Time Theatre. Oh, so I think they've just went, we could get them all in one venue.
Right. And then also we're in Galway, which it's selling fine, but it's not great. So if you're in there, come to the Galway Comedy Festival.
And then Dublin as well.
Sold out.
Cool.
As roll dates.
And see a lot of you there then.
Peace.
Bye.